Have you ever felt manipulated or controlled in a relationship? This unsettling feeling could be a sign of narcissistic abuse, a type of emotional abuse that can fundamentally alter one's thoughts, feelings, and actions. But what exactly is narcissistic abuse? And how does it differ from simple narcissistic traits? Narcissism is more than just excessive self-love or vanity. It's a complex personality disorder characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance and a deep need for attention and admiration. People with narcissistic personality disorder often appear charming and courteous initially, but underneath their confident facade, they struggle with feelings of inadequacy and are easily hurt by criticism. Over time, their behavior can become manipulative, dominating, and exploitative. Now, it's crucial to differentiate between narcissistic traits and narcissistic abuse. While it's common for people to display narcissistic traits from time to time, narcissistic abuse is a more severe manifestation. It occurs when an individual with narcissistic personality disorder uses their inflated sense of self to manipulate and control others, causing significant emotional harm. Narcissistic abuse can take many forms, including psychological, emotional, financial, and even sexual abuse. It's often subtle and insidious, making it difficult to detect. People with narcissistic personality disorder are masters of manipulation, adept at twisting reality to suit their needs. They may gaslight their victims, make them question their memory, or manipulate their feelings. They may use emotional blackmail, threatening something dear to the victim or their reputation, to control their behavior. They may overwhelm their victims with affection, not out of genuine love, but to meet their own needs. They may deny or trivialize events or belittle their victims' emotions. And even after a relationship ends, they may maintain contact, attempting to pull the victim back into the abusive dynamic. Recognizing the signs of narcissistic abuse is the first step towards breaking free from a toxic relationship. By understanding the nature of this abuse, we can arm ourselves with the knowledge necessary to protect our mental and emotional health, and ultimately, reclaim our lives. Consider this scenario. You're being told that your memory of a certain event is incorrect, causing you to question your sanity. This is a form of narcissistic abuse known as gaslighting. Imagine you're in a relationship with someone who consistently denies or distorts your recollection of events. They're so convincing, in fact, that you begin to question your own memory, sanity, or even your grasp on reality. This, my friends, is gaslighting. The term gaslighting originates from a classic film called Gaslight, in which a husband systematically manipulates his wife into believing she's losing her mind. He dims the gaslit lamps in their home, yet insists nothing has changed when she points it out. Over time, she begins to doubt her perception of reality. In real life, gaslighting can take many forms. It might be a partner who insists an argument never happened, or a boss who denies ever making a particular promise. The gaslighter's goal is to undermine the victim's confidence in their own memory and perception, creating a dependency on the gaslighter for their version of reality. Let's consider a case study. We'll call her Jane. Jane was in a relationship with a partner who would often belittle her feelings and experiences. He would insist that events she clearly remembered never took place, or that she was misremembering them. Over time, Jane started to question her own memory. She felt confused and began to rely on her partner to tell her what was real and what wasn't. This is a classic example of gaslighting. But why would someone do this? It's about control. Gaslighters manipulate their victims to gain power over them. They want their victims to depend on them for their version of reality. It's a subtle form of abuse, often going unnoticed until significant damage has been done. Gaslighting can be a subtle yet devastating form of narcissistic abuse. Recognizing it is the first step towards confronting it. Remember, everyone deserves to trust their own memory and perception. Don't let a gaslighter take that away from you. Imagine being threatened or punished to control your behavior. This is another form of narcissistic abuse known as emotional blackmail. Consider this real-life scenario. Alice, a successful businesswoman, was in a relationship with Bob, who displayed narcissistic tendencies. Bob was charismatic and charming at first, but over time his behavior shifted. He started to manipulate Alice, using threats and punishments to control her actions and decisions. One day, Alice decided to take a business trip for a few days. Bob, feeling threatened by Alice's independence, resorted to emotional blackmail. He threatened to harm himself if she left, saying, "If you leave me, I am going to hurt myself." Bob knew Alice cared about him, and he used this threat as a weapon to control her behavior. This is a classic example of emotional blackmail. The narcissist uses threats or punishments against something the victim holds dear. In this case, it was Alice's concern for Bob's well-being. It was a desperate attempt to regain control and boost his ego. Alice felt like she was walking on eggshells, constantly fearing that any action she took could trigger Bob's threats. Emotional blackmail often leaves the victim feeling trapped and powerless, unable to make decisions without fear of severe consequences. It's a potent manipulation tool that can cause significant emotional distress and can fundamentally change a person's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Remember, emotional blackmail is not about love or concern, it's about power and control. The narcissist uses it to maintain dominance over the victim, to manipulate them into behaving in a way that serves their needs. It's a form of abuse that can have severe long-term effects, causing the victim to live in a constant state of fear and anxiety. In Alice's case, recognizing that Bob's threats were a form of emotional blackmail was the first step towards breaking free from the cycle of abuse. It's crucial to understand that nobody should be subjected to such manipulation. If you or someone you know is experiencing emotional blackmail, it's essential to seek help from trusted sources. Emotional blackmail is a powerful manipulation tool often used by narcissists. Narcissistic abuse can take many forms and can have a profound impact on a person's mental health. From gaslighting to emotional blackmail, the tactics employed by those with narcissistic tendencies are diverse and damaging. Gaslighting, a term originating from a film where a husband manipulates his wife into believing she's imagining things, is a classic example. This psychological abuse is designed to make you question your memory, sanity, or reality. In the realm of emotional blackmail, a narcissist uses power and control to boost their ego. When their ego feels threatened, they resort to extreme methods to restore balance. This manipulation often involves threats or punishments against something you hold dear, your reputation, or even themselves. The aim is to force compliance and maintain control. We also talked about the overwhelming affection, sometimes referred to as love bombing. This is a process where you are flooded with affection, gifts, or praise. However, these actions are more about meeting the narcissist's needs than the partner's, often used as a tactic to pull you back into the relationship after a particularly difficult fight. Another strategy is the denial or trivialization of events or emotions. The narcissist may deny a specific event happened or belittle your emotions associated with the event, making you feel like you're overreacting or being too sensitive. And let's not forget about the never-ending contact, which makes ending a relationship with a narcissist quite challenging. They may re-enter your life for weeks or months, trying to pull you back into an emotionally abusive relationship. All these forms of abuse can fundamentally alter a person's thoughts, feelings, and actions, hence the importance of recognizing these signs. By understanding the signs and symptoms of narcissistic abuse, one can take steps to escape from a toxic relationship and seek the help and support needed to heal. Awareness and understanding of narcissistic abuse are crucial in protecting oneself and promoting healthier relationships. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. There are resources and support systems available to help navigate through these difficult situations, promoting healthier relationships and mental well-being.